Okay, apparently I need to clarify something because I don't think people are confused. I think people are just asking questions to make other people confused. So, what I said in my post the other day was the police have not questioned me one time in the last 5 years about the accusations that Original Owl and Adonis Paul and my Aunt Kathy have made. In the last 5 years, that they have been publicly telling people I committed a murder and got away with it, and they had the evidence and they could prove 100% that I committed murder. The police have not once spoken to me. That is true. And that is causing people to say, but the police did question you, it's in the documents. That's not what I said. I said in the past 5 years, since these current accusations have begun. Not that I've never spoken to the police, because in 2009, I went to the police myself. I went to the police. March 31st, 2009. I personally, myself, my human body in person, went to the police and reported this murder. And from that moment until the trial in 2013, I fully cooperated with the investigation. I gave them my laptop. I gave them my DNA. I gave them my fingerprints. I gave them my testimony multiple times. So, yes, the court documents are going to say that I cooperated fully with the investigation, that there were many, many times that I spoke to the police. I was not arrested for it. I was not charged. I was not the one on trial. Whenever they talk about these transcripts and documents and court trial things, they are talking about a trial I was a witness to. And even as a witness, I spoke to the police and the detectives many times in the years between the time that I went to the police and the time that the trial happened. So be clear. I'm not saying I have never spoken to authorities about this situation. I am saying, since I have been accused, I have not spoken to the authorities about this situation since being accused. When I spoke to the authorities, I was not accused. Now I'm being accused. Adonis Paul has accused me of murder. Original Owl has accused me of murder. My Aunt Kathy has accused me of murder. And they've made multiple live streams showing all of their evidence and how they proved it. They 100% proved I committed murder, but no police have ever spoken to me about it. That makes no sense. Since they proved I did it, no police have spoken to me. That is what I said, and that is what I'm sticking by. It's not that, of course I spoke to the police when it happened. I'm the one that went to them and turned them in. And I fully cooperated, and I will fully cooperate again. I'm waiting. I have been waiting for 5 years since they started accusing me, because I assumed, even if the people were lying, if you go online and you publicly accuse somebody of murder, the police are going to speak to that person. I assumed naturally that the police would speak to me by now, but they haven't, because it's such clear bullshit that they're making their money, but the actual authorities aren't paying any attention to them because they are lying. Same as Alex Jones. They lie for your money. It doesn't mean that the people that have actually done the things that they're saying they've done. They just want your money, and they'll tell you that I did whatever they can imagine for you to pay them for exposing this person, even though, where are the authorities? Where are the handcuffs? Where are the detectives? Where are the police? Where are the charges? They don't exist because they're lying. I haven't lied. That's why I'm not in jail. I went to the police. I told the truth. I gave them everything. Surprisingly, when you're honest, if you didn't actually commit a crime and you're honest, you don't go to jail. It's, I know it's a shocker to a lot of you. Honesty goes a long way, especially with murder trials. The people who are accusing me are not being honest, which is why the detectives and the police have not spoken to me. I have always fully admitted to being a part of the trial originally. I did everything. I cooperated. Since the new accusations began, there has been silence on the airwaves. I have not had to work. I've been waiting, but the police aren't coming because they're lying. Here's the thing. They publicly accuse me of crimes that they have never spoken to the authorities about because they know that they're lying. If you go to the police and you tell them you have evidence of murder, the police are going to contact that person. Even if you're lying, the police are going to contact that person and find out whether or not you're lying. Because it's a murder accusation. This isn't a trivial, tiny little thing. They're not accusing me of stealing gum from the gas station. They're literally accusing me of murder. In 2009, when I went to the police, they followed him from pretty much from the minute I got to the authorities and told them what happened. They had eyes on the motherfucker. They followed him. They saw him when he went to the hospital to try to speak to my grandmother. They followed him all day long. And then they arrested him about, let's say, 12 hours after I turned him in. They got my story. They did some investigation. They had eyes on him. And he was picked up the same day that I went to the police with what I knew. The 3 channels specifically that are accusing me, somehow there were more, right? We've got Adonis Paul, Original Owl, and Aunt Kathy Storytime, but there used to be Hatman, Daywave Radio, Nightwave Radio, Virgie G, who I believe has been permanently banned for being so obnoxiously irritating about their lies. Like, all of these people with their thousands of viewers who have accused me of murder, and yet the police have not spoken to me. Yet when I went to the police, they had the man picked up within 12 hours. Because if you actually go to authorities with what you know, progress begins. If you just go online and lie about somebody for profit for 5 fucking years, there's no progress. There's no investigation. There's nothing. I never get a trial to prove that I'm innocent for your public accusations of murder, which legally I deserve a trial if you're going to be accusing me. And if you would go to authorities, I would get a trial. But because you go to the public for money instead of the authorities for justice, I get no trial. And you get to just keep lying and bullshitting and acting like you know everything about the law and I'm so stupid. I'm the one that actually went through the initial investigation process of turning somebody in for murder. I'm the one that actually knows what would happen if you did that. And I can tell you that you're full of shit with your public accusations that go nowhere.